It was just after sunset in Malibu. The sky was dipped in pink and gold, waves crashing gently beyond the deck of a quiet cliffside home. Elon sat in a hoodie and jeans, his laptop closed for once, feet up on a wooden table. Next to him, his 10-year-old son, X, was building something out of Legos, half spaceship, half dragon. They hadn't spoken much, just sat there, comfortable silence, until X broke it. "Dad? Yeah, bud?" X didn't look up. "Why do people hate you?" Elon froze. He turned his head slowly, as if making sure he'd heard it right. "What did you say?" X glanced at him now, eyes big and curious, not accusing, not sad, just wondering. "I saw a video. Some guy was yelling your name, called you evil, said you ruin everything." Elon took a breath, deep, slow. He looked out toward the ocean, the waves now suddenly louder. "That's a big question, X. Is it true?" Elon hesitated, then turned fully toward him. "Some people think I'm dangerous. Some think I'm changing too much, too fast. Others don't like me because I say what I believe." X nodded, like he understood more than he should. "But I'm your dad," Elon said quietly. "And all I care about is if you know who I am." X thought for a second. "I do," he said, then added, "but maybe the world needs to hear it too." Elon looked at his son, really looked, and in that moment, he didn't see a kid. He saw a mirror. Bolum 2. The answer. The next morning, Elon sat alone in the kitchen. Coffee cold, laptop open, inbox full. But he wasn't typing. His mind kept circling back to one question. Why do people hate you? It had replayed all night like background noise, not in anger, but in quiet confusion. He'd been called visionary, genius, disruptor, but also reckless, arrogant, heartless. Was it all true? X wandered in, barefoot, hair wild, clutching his tablet. "Dad," he said casually, "can I ask you something else?" Elon looked up, instantly alert. "Of course. Do you care that they hate you?" The question hit harder than the first. Elon leaned back, rubbed his eyes. "I used to," he said. "A lot. When I was younger, I thought I could fix it all, make everyone understand. But the more I built, the louder the noise got." X nodded, listening without interrupting. "I care about people," Elon continued, "but I stopped trying to be liked by everyone. Because I realized something." "What?" "That sometimes, if you try to change the world fights back. It doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means you're early." X tilted his head. "That sounds lonely." Elon smiled, but it didn't reach his eyes. "It is. Sometimes." There was a pause. Then X placed his tablet on the table and said, "Then let's tell the world who you really are." Elon blinked. "What do you mean?" X shrugged. "You talk to cameras all the time, but never like this. What if I asked you that question again? But we recorded it." Elon looked at him, stunned. "That's not a bad idea." X set up the phone on a stack of books. They sat at the kitchen table, just the two of them. No lighting crew, no PR team, no script, just father and son. "You sure about this?" Elon asked, voice low. X grinned. "Relax, I've watched like 1,000,000 YouTube videos. I got this." He tapped the screen. "Record." "Okay," X said. "Ready?" Elon nodded. X looked into the lens, then turned to his dad. "Why do people hate you?" Silence. Elon took a breath, not the kind he usually took before interviews. This one was heavier, personal. "Because I make people uncomfortable," he said. "Because I don't always say what they want to hear. Because I dream bigger than they think is safe." He looked straight into the camera now. "But I also believe in people, even the ones who misunderstand me. I believe we're capable of more kindness, more connection, more brilliance." He paused. "And I believe the future needs risk-takers, even the weird ones. X leaned in. "Are you weird?" Elon smiled. "Extremely." They both laughed. The moment was light, but the words hung heavy. "Do you ever feel like quitting?" X asked, quieter this time. Elon hesitated, then shook his head. "I feel tired, but never finished." Click. X hit stop. "That's it," he said. "We post it?" Elon looked at his son. This wasn't about PR. It wasn't about fixing anything. It was about telling the truth, just once, with no armor. "Yeah," he said. "We post it." X posted the video on a Tuesday afternoon. No captions, no edits, just the title. "My son asked me why people hate me. This was my answer." At first, it got a few likes, then a few thousand. Then it exploded. By midnight, it had over 12 million views. People weren't arguing in the comments. They were quiet, reflective, some even emotional. "I've never seen Elon like this. That kid brought out something we all needed to see. Maybe we were wrong about him. This made me call my dad." The clip aired on morning news across 5 countries. Celebrities reposted it. Psychologists wrote threads. Even critics said, "Whether you love him or hate him, this was human." But Elon? He didn't say a word about it. He went to work like usual, answered emails, reviewed engine reports, until his assistant walked in, holding her phone. "You need to see this," she said. A young girl from Iowa had posted her own video. She looked straight into the camera and said, "People used to bully me for being weird, but after watching Elon and his son, I feel proud of being different." Then came another, and another. Soon, thousands of kids, teens, even adults were posting their own stories under the hashtag Weird is brave. Elon scrolled in silence. X peeked over his shoulder. "Is that good?" Elon smiled, just a little. "It's better than I ever planned." By the end of the week, the hashtag #WeirdIsBrave had been viewed over 300 million times. It was no longer just about Elon. It was about the kid with dyslexia who finally spoke in class. The teenager who coded an app in his garage and believed it mattered. The woman who'd been told she was too much, now building her own startup. TV shows featured it. Schools talked about it in assemblies. Companies started using it in recruitment campaigns. Weird is Brave became a symbol of acceptance, of courage, of finally not apologizing for being different. Elon was invited to every talk show, every panel, every conference, but he declined most of them. Instead, he chose one, a quiet university auditorium. No press, no glam, just a stage, a chair, and a full audience of students. He sat beside X, who clutched the same tablet he'd recorded the first video on. Elon cleared his throat. "I didn't start this," he said. "He did." He nodded toward his son. X smiled sheepishly. Elon continued, "I spent most of my life building machines, but my son reminded me that sometimes what people really need is to be seen." The room went still, then applause. Not loud, not showy, but real. Afterward, a student walked up and said, "I'm studying engineering because you once made me feel like being weird was powerful." Elon looked at X. "That makes 2 of us." Weeks passed. The noise faded, as it always does. The headlines moved on. The hashtags slowed down. But something stayed. In living rooms, teachers wrote "Weird is brave" on whiteboards. In coffee shops, strangers looked at each other just a little differently. And in quiet moments, people asked themselves a simple question. Why do people hate? Elon didn't talk about the video much anymore. He didn't need to. One night, back on the Malibu deck, he and X sat under the stars again. Same ocean, same breeze. But this time, X leaned against him, not just playing, but thinking. "Hey, Dad." "Yeah? Do you think they still hate you?" Elon looked up at the sky. "I think some do. Some always will. X stayed quiet. And that's okay, Elon added, because it means I stood for something. X nodded, then asked, "What do you want people to remember you for?" Elon turned to his son, really looked at him. Not the rockets, not the money, just this. He pointed to the stars. And the boy who made me finally speak from the heart. X smiled, eyes reflecting the sky. Can I ask one more question? Elon laughed. Only one? X grinned. Will you always be weird? Elon threw his arm around him. Every day? They sat in silence. No cameras, no followers, no metrics. Just a father, a son, and a legacy not built on fame, but on truth.
If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Subscribe for more inspiring stories.